Well, it's a rainy Saturday and I am in the studio getting some things ready because I am going on a little trip, and I'm going to be gone for about a month, and I can't imagine a month away from my art studio. Well, I kind of can because I'll be looking at a lot of art in museums and galleries. But you know, sometimes you just want to play along yourself when you're on your trip. So I am going to show you my quick fix of what I am going to be doing on my trip. And I have done some other travel journals and travel art boxes in the past, and I'll link those videos to this. But for now, I want to show you, first of all, I have my little travel kit. And these are just little acrylic paints that I've picked up along the way. I even have a little paint tray. And I have these little paints, and I'm a limited palette. I'm pretty much taking primary colors because I can mix everything I need from that. Got some black. I found these really little ones in my stash, so I may even just slip those in. A selection of brushes, my Stabilo pencils, which I love, and all neatly packed in this really wonderful little art pouch made by my friend Amy over at Studio Four Corners, and I will give you, put Amy's link in down below in the description, but I'm really excited about using this, and she makes it from her scrap fabric pieces. So I'm glad to be a beneficiary of finding one of those. So I've got that. Now, I was gonna go out and buy a journal. I wanted something that didn't have spirals so that if I wanted to do a page going all the way across, I could do that. And so you know what I did? I just went ahead and got one of my old journals, notebooks that I write in, and I'm using that because I love the cover of this. It's a nice fabric cover, and it's been really nice. I just have this sitting on my art table, and every day I would just paint a little gesso, a couple of times a day actually, go over a couple of pages, put some gesso on it. I have these really great little deli sheets, deli paper, that I bought by mistake, not realizing they were so small, but they're perfect to lay in between each page to keep the pages from sticking together. And sometimes the text, my writing comes through, and that's okay. It'll work into whatever I'm doing, whatever I end up doing on the page. I also, if there's too much script coming through, too much handwriting, I just lay another piece of paper and gesso over that to make it more opaque. So these are all pages that over the last week I've just threw things down with no rhyme or reason, not really caring, because I know I'm going to create something over this while I'm on my trip, and it's just kind of fun. This one was really fun. This was a face that I had laying in my stash, so I just cut that in half, and I'll do something fun with that. It's just nice to start your day or end your day when you're on a trip and just play around in your journal. And I can go ahead and write in my journal if I want. These are fabric scraps that I also got from Amy at Studio Four Corners. So they came in the mail, and I put them right into the beginnings of my journal. So let me show you what I did. And some things I don't want to lose, not necessarily this, but if there are pages that I want to keep the writing, I may just leave that and use it, because those are notes I took about doing art. So let me show you what I do. This happens to be a book that has the signatures are all stitched together in, and I'm not a bookmaker, so I don't know the exact terms, but they're stitched together in groups. And I think it's like 4 pages together. So what I've been doing, what I started out doing, was going in, here's my center, and I find pages, okay, here's a better one. here's the center, and there's 2 pages in this one, so maybe I've already taken some out. I know I can tear this page out and then flip this over and take its companion piece on the other side out. So it helps make the book a little thinner, so when I go in and I add things like bus tickets, museum tickets, menus, receipts from my travels that I'll be doing, it'll be a great little reminder to have those in these pages as well. But they're going to make my book thicker, so I want to kind of lighten the load right from the start. So what I've been doing is I've been using up the rest of my gesso, and I have an old ratty paintbrush just sitting in water ready to go, and I just dry that off a little bit, take a scoop of gesso, and just paint it on that page. And cover things as good as I can. Now, this is all on my work table. I'm getting this all pre-done before I head off on my trip, so I'll just have the book to pack with me. And I've got my gesso on there. Maybe I want it a little bit more opaque, so I'll add a little bit of paint. That's kind of fun. Let me get my page back. And so I've got a nice coat on there. That's going to be really thick, and it's got a lot of brush strokes in it. So what I'm going to do is these pages that I've ripped out, just lay that on top of it and give it a good pressing. And you end up with some cool textures. I may even take this. And it's a place just to play, because who cares? Who cares? You're going to paint stuff over this anyway. And I could also, along with that, while I have this sitting here, let me pull this over. I always have a stash of papers and fabric, and I have several little boxes of papers that sit next to my table. This is kind of cool. This is a cyanotype, an old cyanotype. Do I want to use that? I might want to use that. Let's just use that. Put that down, take a piece of paper, smush it down. The paint will glue it right to the surface. So there you go. Oops, do I have a little bend in there? I do. Let's get that back out here. So there you go. You can just, add stuff in. It doesn't have to be anything important. This was something I cut out of, I used the cutouts for another project. So now let me just take this. I'm creating a nice little space for me to paint something in. Let me cut that off. And you can get started on what you're adding into your journal right from the get-go. So when you're on your trip, you open up your book, and there you are. You're ready to go. And then I can just set that side to dry, and then I'll flip it over to my next page and work on that. So it's really easy. Very easy to do this. It's a great way when you're looking for a journal. Just get an old book. Get one of your own. Instead of an old textbook, get one of your own journals to use for this little travel project. I think you'll like it even more. I have plenty of blank pages left in this, so I'm excited to pack this up with all of my supplies. And then what I'll be doing along the way, because I'll be gone for a month, so I'm not gonna want to lose sight of my Instagram and my Facebook and the places that I've worked so hard to keep people informed on what I'm doing in my studio. I think I'm gonna share my pages and places that I go to get inspired by art while I'm on this trip. So if you're not on my Instagram page, please do head over there and join it. You can find the link to that in the description below, and just keep up on the travels and the fun places, because you know what, it is all about travel. We need to get out and explore the world. It really helps us form our art. It really helps us form who we are as people, and it's just the spice of life. Get out and travel. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this little video, and I'm excited to use this, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm even going to try to do a couple posts while I'm on my trip. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.